Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. Hello. So I did a podcast in which I showed my face, and I did it on my phone, though. I still have not done a podcast on my laptop. I still do not have an intro or an outro. So it's just a hot freaking mess. This is just the most sloppy podcast you will ever come across. It's just full of, it's just not professional at all. And then I couldn't afford to renew my Buzzsprout or my Alitu, so then I couldn't get on for a while. So then I was like, okay, I'll just do a YouTube video, and I'll just do it like, a video, and I'll just post it from my phone onto YouTube, and that will be a podcast since I can't afford the subscription anymore. And then I did it, and that was just a shit show. So basically here is yet more evidence that I need to stop being a lazy, unprofessional hot mess and actually do this podcast on my laptop and then have intro and outro music again and just stop being, I don't know what my problem is. Like I said, I just don't want to sit there. I cannot sit down. Like as we're speaking, I'm pacing around. I pace when I talk on the phone. Back in the day when you had the cords, I would get myself, I don't know how I haven't hung myself. I don't know how I'm not dead because I would get myself entangled in cords from just walking around. People would get so annoyed watching me talk on the phone. My parents were like, oh my God, sit down. And they seriously got me my own phone line. I was spoiled. I realized that's very privileged. White privilege. I had my own phone line because I got a lot of phone calls and it was a thing. And so I'm sorry. I've got to work on this. In the meantime, I did a lot of podcasts between the last time I posted one and now. I did like 4 podcasts. I just wasn't able to post them. I didn't put them up. And I wanted to. But then unfortunately, the nation was completely shocked and stricken with the fact that Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the 10th of September. Today is the 15th, I was absolutely beyond shocked. I was beyond devastated to know that his children, his wife, his family had to go through, that video is out there for everybody to see, including his children and his wife and, like I said, his family and people, his friends. And to know that he was assassinated because he had because it was a difference of opinion, because someone else didn't believe in the same things Charlie believed in, didn't stand for the same things Charlie believed in, which I find fascinating. How can you be against strong marriage? How can you be against being a virgin until you meet your one and only, and then you two have that to celebrate? That's an amazing thing. How can you be against having a good, strong relationship with your husband or wife or with God? So you're against a good marriage. You're against God, and that's okay if you're not religious. Again, I 100% believe in having you having the right to your opinion. Go for it. You do you, Scotty P. You do you, Scotty P. I'm just saying, you're going to be against somebody else believing in God. How does that affect you? I've never understood that. How does somebody having faith affect your life? I mean, it affects your life if somebody is going around trying to make you believe in what they believe, like the liberal party has been doing, like the crazy left has been doing. When you go around trying to force your opinion, that's a whole other thing. But that's not what he was doing. That was the opposite. He was trying to get people to everybody talk about their opinion, hear their, get their point of view heard. No matter if you agreed with him or not, he wanted to have a conversation. How can you be against that? You're against conversation. You're against respect. You're against diversity, because that's diversity. Diversity is actually listening to and accepting and hearing, pardon me, and hearing what someone else has to say. And if you're sitting there saying you're against that, then you're against diversity. You're against equality. And the people that are rejoicing and celebrating in the assassination of another human, not in my darkest hour, not in my darkest hour, have I rejoiced in the assassination of somebody because of their beliefs. I detest with every fiber in my soul Obama and the Clintons and Nancy Pelosi and AOC and Crockett. But you know what? If one of them were assassinated, I would not post videos rejoicing in that. That's terrible. Would I shed a tear? No. Am I necessarily going to be sad? No. Am I going to be very sad for their families? Yes. Am I going to be really sad for the fact that somebody got shot because of their beliefs? Yes. I think that's terrible for somebody to get assassinated because they have a difference of opinion, even if I don't like that person. I'm probably not going to cry over it, but like I said, I am certainly going to be sad for their families. I'll be heartbroken for their families. And I'm not going to ever make a video saying how glad and happy and wonderful it is for them to be assassinated, because I am a normal human being, because I'm not a nut job, because I'm not subhuman garbage. And I'm sorry, but if you're out there making videos, I hope you become infamous. I hope that people take screenshots of your faces and post them all over every single possible social media outlet, news outlet, and every single manner possible. I hope they make posters and hang them on every single power pole, bulletin board, all over. I hope that they become so infamous that they cannot walk down a single street without somebody knowing who they are and what they said. Because if you make a video bragging about something and you truly believe, you 100% believe and stand by what you posted, then you better be walking around with your head held high and saying that in front of people, not just behind your screen, because that's a coward, and I don't think you truly believe it. Because I know that I walk around with my shirts with President Trump on it, with our American flag on it, and I just ordered my Charlie Kirk shirts. I went crazy. I got some that said freedom on them. I got some that said truth is not hate speech. And so I'm going to walk around with it because I stand by Trump and I stand by Charlie Kirk, and I don't hide behind my screen. So if you're going to stand for the assassination of somebody's father and husband and son and grandson and friend and family member, then instead of going behind the scenes and posting it, sure, they can see your face on social media, but that's not in public where people can touch you and look at you and speak to you in person and ask you questions. You're still hiding behind your screen. So I think we need to make sure that we post these everywhere so that when they're out in public, they need to be held accountable. People need to see their faces and see who they are. And some people will cheer for them still because they're vile mental cases. And then others will not. And I'm not wishing death on these people. I'm not wishing that people harm them. I'm simply saying that if you are going to make statements then you need to have the kahunas to actually stand by them, because you're all big and tough and big and bad when you're saying things in the comfort of your own home behind mommy and daddy. But actually going outside is a whole different thing. And I really hope, and again, I'm not calling for harm done to these people. I'm saying that if verbal backlash, or maybe they get fired if they have jobs. I mean, they're liberals, they probably don't have jobs. But if they do, I would hope that the businesses that still have them, that have them employed still to this day, I would hope that we can also ban them, because that goes to show that they also promote the assassination of people who have a difference of opinion, and they stand by those that promote that and promote killing. So that means that business 100% stands by it. Now, I understand there are certain situations where maybe there's a union or something and it makes it hard to fire someone. If they're actively trying to fire them, then okay. But if they're not, if they haven't been fired, and people are going to go, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Yes, there is freedom of speech. That means that the government can't put you in jail. That means that you don't get to go to jail for it. That has nothing to do, though, with businesses. Businesses can hire and fire whoever the fuck they want. And in the state of Oregon in particular, you can fire someone, because people are going, no, you can't just be fired. Well, guess what? In the state of Oregon, you can. And also, when you're promoting the death of someone, an employee that's a fireable offense. That shows that you shouldn't be in the care of children or the elderly or sick people, because it shows you judge people and you are not probably going to give them the best of care. It means maybe you'll miss their medication. Maybe you'll bully them. Maybe you'll harm them in some way. Maybe you aren't going to be, maybe you are going to be biased. So people that has nothing to do with your rights. You don't have the right to a job, unfortunately. It just means the government can't put you in jail for it, unless you actually are being violent and you're harming people, because that's assault. Or if you're setting things on fire, because that's a criminal activity, and that has nothing to do with your freedom of speech. You lost the freedom of speech. Once you assault someone, you're going to jail for assault, not because of what you said. If you set fire to things and you vandalize things, you're going to jail because of your actions, not your words. But if you threaten the president and you say you're going to bomb the White House like Madonna, who listens to that old hag anyway? She's never had a good voice. She's always been homely as hell. And she's overcompensating it. She needs the attention so bad. It's just gross. But the people that are for Charlie, those are the people that we also need to make sure that we celebrate. And like his wife said, and like a lot of people have said, this is the time now where we rise. God, I'm sorry, I've got something in my throat. Oh, this is the time where we rise and we stand up. Again, I'm not promoting violence or calling for violence. I'm saying that we use our education, our brain, our unity, banding together, and we spread facts, and we spread the truth, and we spread, we uncover lies. We uncover, lies, Sorry, I had to take a drink because I am having issues. Ooh. Day drinking, not gonna lie, I'm having a beer. It's like 2:00 though, so it's not, again, I've said this before, why does the time of day matter? If you're not going to work and you're not like caring for children or something, you don't have responsibilities, I don't understand why the time of day matters. Like, how does it suddenly make it, like if it, once it turns, 5 o'clock, suddenly it's okay to drink? Why can't you date? But then yet if you put a juice, like, a mimosa is orange juice and champagne, right? So why is it that if you add a juice to it, it suddenly makes it okay to drink in the morning? That would mean vodka and orange juice is okay because it's orange juice. And we always say like Bloody Marys because you're adding like, I don't know how tomato juice makes it a morning drink. How does orange juice and tomato juice or champagne become morning drinks? I've never understood that. How are we... I mean, it shouldn't matter. Again, as long as you're not like driving and operating machinery and trying to care for kids or doing responsible things, don't get, if you, want to get drunk or you want to drink during the day or night, again, as long as you're not having to do things that are responsible and you're not driving around, why does the time of day matter? I don't get it. So I'm having a beer, okay? I am. Also, I decided that I was going to go all patriotic, and I have now, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 little mini flags around my banister, and then I got a magnetic one, and it's on my door. I already had flags on my car. I already have that. I already walk around with t-shirts all the time, but and I got all kinds of, I Charlie Kirked it up, so that's what we need to do. We need to rise up and show that you don't need to burn and murder to have your point heard. In fact, it just drowns it. You will be swallowed up in facts and love and respect and education, beat them with your brain. Beat them with love and compassion and humanity and grace. It's hard because I'm not feeling very, like I don't want to give grace. I don't want to give compassion. When I first heard about Charlie being assassinated, I wanted to go out and beat up every single person that remotely said a bad word. Sorry, there's a truck in the background, that remotely looked at me cross-eyed, and that's not right. That's why before, we react, we need to take a breath, which is really hard to do because, reacting is kind of what people do. That's what we as humans do. It's hard to just take a breath for a second and figure out what you're going to say and figure out what you're going to do. And right now it's good that those that are on the side of listening, on the side of hearing, on the side of unity and going out and getting the truth out there, that's what needs to take over and prevail. We need to dim the light of those that are trying to spread evil and misinformation and cover up and misdirect, God, that is really loud. Damn, Gina, I'm trying to do a podcast over here. Lord. Anyway, it breaks my heart to see so many people making excuses just like they did for Carmelo Anthony, but yet they revere. And there's a GoFundMe for the guy that killed the Ukrainian woman. There was a GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony. There's a GoFundMe for people that go out and kill. And then it's funny because liberals are like, oh, really funny how everybody is in a tither over Charlie, but yet nothing over the school shootings. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean Republicans didn't care about the school shootings? Show me that evidence. I love how people just make a statement and then they're like, that's the truth because I said it, because it came out of my uneducated mouth that's usually up my ass. Like, do people get what they're saying before they say it? It's really embarrassing. Since when do people not care? And where is there a video or evidence of a Republican not caring about a school shooting? Show me that video. Show me that article. Show me where some Republicans said that they didn't give a shit about school shootings. Because we believe in the right to bear arms, our constitutional right. People forget that. Our constitutional, I'll say it for the people in the back, our constitutional right, because we believe in that, somehow that means we promote and don't care about the school shootings. Excuse me, Who are the people currently saying that, who are the people currently killing? Who have been doing the killings? Has it been Republicans or has it been I can't talk. I am so biting out right now. Transgender and liberals who have been going out bullying and beating the crap out of elderly and stabbing people. Who have been the ones setting things on fire, including our flag? Liberals. Who have been the ones literally screaming at the top of their lungs and barricading people from going to their schools that they paid tuitions for. Why? Because they're Jewish. And then yet claiming that they're these righteous, great, accepting, loving people. It's just boggling my brain. It makes no sense. And I love how people also like to show pictures of Trump back in the 80s, by the way, the 80s, of him with women. I don't give a rat's ass if Trump was a womanizer. I don't care. Nowhere has he been proven to be a rapist at all. Accusations, again, do not equal facts. Accusations do not equal facts. Claims do not equal facts. There has been accusations. There has been no sentencing or guilty sentence at all. And I don't care if he was a womanizer. That has zero to do with him being a president. I said the same thing about Clinton, by the way. When Clinton was getting BJs from Monica Lewinsky, you know what I said? That has zero to do with him as a president and everything to do with him as a husband. As a husband, he sucks. As a husband, that's between he and Hillary. But him getting blowjobs, to me, in my opinion, has nothing to do with your presidency. That has to do with your marriage. I said that with Clinton, who I detest. Wasn't condoning what he did, just saying that doesn't have anything to do with him being a president. Just like if Obama were doing that. I hate Obama. I hate Biden. But if they had an affair on their wives, to me, that doesn't have something to do with their presidency. It has something to do with them as a husband. So Trump being a womanizer or whatever, but just because you have pictures of him with women does not mean he was sleeping with them, does not mean he raped them. I have pictures of me with all kinds of people. That doesn't mean anything. If I have a picture with me and a man, it doesn't mean I slept with that man. Every picture of me with a man doesn't mean I've slept with them. People interpret things in the most bizarre way. There's a picture of a person with a red hat on. You can't see what the front of it says at all. It's just a red hat. And apparently they have a Nazi thing on their arm, which also could be photoshopped in AI. But that's what it looks like. And someone's like, Republicans say that shooting is bad and blah, blah, blah is bad. And then they're like, meanwhile, also Republicans. And then there's a picture of that guy with a red hat on that you can't see what it says. And a supposed swastika with another person with a swastika on their arm, which I've never seen in my life. People walking around with swastikas on their arms like the Nazi ones. I mean, whatever. But anyway, and doesn't say MAGA, doesn't say Make America Great Again, doesn't say anything that it's just a red hat. And people are like, see, here you go. Here's hardcore proof of MAGA being Nazis. Okay, first of all, if he were wearing a MAGA hat, that's one person. One person. That does not mean that all of MAGA is a Nazi. Just like I realize you're all going to go, well, Courtney, you're saying that all liberals are bad. All liberals are bad. No, I'm saying all people that rejoice in the assassination of somebody is bad. I guess I have said all liberals that rejoice in that, but I still said all liberals that rejoice in that are bad. I didn't say all liberals are bad. I said all liberals that rejoice in that. So I'm saying all Republicans that have, any Republican that's wearing a swastika, that's bad. That's terrible. I don't support that. Don't support it. But that's, if that were true, that's a picture of one person. Also, it's a red hat. So now if you wear a red hat, it means you're MAGA. The color red came out a long time ago. The color red also was one of three colors in our flag. And sometimes people just like the color red and choose to wear a red hat. It doesn't mean that they're MAGA. It doesn't say anything on there. You can't see it. So again, I love it when people are like, proof, proof, proof. No, that's not proof. I think people need to look up the definition of the word proof, of the word racism, of the word fascist, bigot, Nazi. I think we're having a communication issue. There are a lot of people that don't speak English and it's their second language. And there are a lot of people that are uneducated, where English is their first language, but they're just not educated because our school systems are a joke, and they believe, again, I've said this before, in the state of Oregon, it's okay, and you can graduate without reading, writing, or speaking English, or knowing basic math. So why school is even a thing, why public schools are a thing, are beyond me. More and more people are doing the homeschool thing. But this is just interesting. It's just interesting how people equate accusations and claims with facts and twisting around and editing things and taking things out of context. Like people keep going, well, Charlie Kirk said that he would question if there was a black pilot. Okay, again, let's not take things out of context. Let's actually know what we're talking about before we speak. That's where a lot of the problems arise. We're not educated, and we take things out of context, and we don't know what we're talking about before we say them, before we say things. He was referring, again, sorry, I took a drink and that was really loud. He was referring to DEI, and DEI is completely 100% for hiring people. Oh, now you get to hear my dog in the background. Don't worry, she's okay. Completely 100% for hiring solely because of race. Race, which is right there racist, by the way. And so he was saying, if you're not going by qualifications, then, and you're just going by race or gender or your sexual orientation, then of course he's going to question if he sees a black pilot, just like he probably would if he saw someone that was announcing that they were transgender. Not because he thinks they're not a good pilot. That's not what he said. So don't insert words. But because people like Jasmine Crockett admitted she was a DEI hire. There have been a lot of people that have admitted that they're a DEI hire. And look at Jasmine Crockett. Is she educated? I mean, she's supposed to be a lawyer, but look at her. I question why she has a job in politics. I question that very, very much. Just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean you are a good politician. Doesn't mean you know politics. Being a lawyer and having knowledge in political or history, American history, are two different things. Having knowledge in American government and law are two different things. I'm sure they incorporate maybe some into being a lawyer. I don't know. Maybe they do. But some is not being educated in it. So look at her. She's a DEI hire, and she's completely unqualified. So he's saying, he's going to question someone because he's not saying that there aren't qualified or can't be qualified black pilots. Just people like to bitch for the sake of bitching. Misery loves company. Why don't you ask yourself why you are against marriage? Unless it's gay marriage. You're only pro-gay marriage or pro-transgender marriage, which, by the way, aren't lasting very long. Either are heterosexual marriages, but those are because they're usually not religious-based. They usually aren't faith-based. I mean, God, the celebrities, Kim Kardashian alone takes up like the majority of those. J-Lo takes up the majority of divorces. Those two alone account for a lot. So you're against marriage, you're against communication, you're against dialogue, you're against unity, you're against being an American, you're against our country, you are pro-sex trafficking, you are pro-divorce, you are pro being disrespectful and not communicating and not sitting down and talking with people that are from all backgrounds. You're against that, because if you're saying that you're against what Charlie Kirk represents, then that's what you're saying. You don't represent equality. You don't represent equality or diversity or communication or respect or unity. or education. You don't respect people from all backgrounds and all walks of life. You only respect people that think exactly the way you do. So don't call yourself diverse. There's yet another word that you need to put on your word a day calendar. So in addition to fascist, racist, bigot, homophobe, you need to also put on there unity, equality, diversity, love, peace. Look up those words. Look up hypocrisy. Look up communism. Look up socialism. And then, really ask yourself, what is it that I stand for? If I'm promoting assassination, then I'm a killer, right? I'm promoting abortion. I'm promoting sex trafficking. I'm promoting people getting injected by a vaccination that had absolutely no business being out of there and has been proven time and time again to not be good for you. So you're promoting death after death after death. It's interesting. It's quite interesting. You know what you should be promoting? This podcast. You like how I segued that into there? Yeah. That's, 2 years of doing a podcast on my phone, will get you, folks. Anyways, I'm back in action, but again, still no intro or outro music. And it's still shit quality. And you can still hear crap in the background. So, hey, if you like that kind of stuff, please continue to listen. I absolutely am freaking overjoyed and excited about the fact that more and more people have been tuning in. I appreciate it genuinely, in spite of all of my unprofessionalism. You're still listening, and God, I can't even tell you how much that means to me. And again, I really do want to make it clear that if you are a liberal that's not participating in saying that death is good, and you're like, hey man, I'm a liberal and I'm just wanting to get along. I've said all along, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you if you're not preaching this violence and you're not promoting this violence. If you're still open for conversation and dialogue and you're being respectful, then I fucking love you. I love you a lot. If you're transgender and you're not going around promoting, trying to force it on other people and hating on everybody else and trying to tell everybody else what they need to be while you want to be whoever you want to be, I promote you. I promote you being whatever you want to be. If you're gay, if you are transgender, if you are a liberal. I'm saying that I don't promote people being hypocrites. I've said this over and over again. It goes both ways. You respect me, I respect you. I have my opinions and believe in my opinions just as much as you believe in yours. I want to have open, respectful dialogue. I don't need to be talked over or accused. I need to work on that. My God, I can't tell you how many times I've said some stupid, uneducated crap that I have apologized for and I'm embarrassed by. I have been ignorant many times, but at least I can admit it and at least I can apologize for it and I can move on and I can learn. I'm not still doing it, But again, speaking of still doing, please still listen to my podcast. Please. I appreciate it. I'm not above groveling. But I appreciate it. Genuinely. I don't even know how to thank you. Just thank you. And please continue to tell everybody about the ramblings of an insomniac. Again, you can find me on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and Clapper, and X. I still say Twitter. And Buzzsprout and Alitu and all of the podcasts. I think you can find me on Apple and Spotify and all that stuff. So again, I don't have an intro and outro, I'm sorry, but thank you so much. Until next time.